Welcome, guys, to My Love Island, USA, Season 7, Episode 36.
Over.
The finale! Thank God it's over. It's over, guys. Um, it's over.
It's over.
I am exhausted.
Me
I'm
too.
exhausted.
Me too.
I'm exhausted. I am happy it's over.
Same.
Um, and it, I, this has been probably the worst season finale I think I've ever seen.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Ever?
Absolutely it is. Absolutely it is. I mean, this includes the UK everything. I mean, the worst. The worst.
Yeah. So
The worst.
this is, I mean, I will say it's not I didn't really care for season 5 either, or season 1. Um I think this overall will still probably fall somewhere before those two, to be honest, for me. Um but that's me, you know. Hey,
Mm-hmm.
Prishay, long time no see. I've never been happier that the season is over. That's what I'm saying. The
Absolutely.
last time I felt
Absolutely.
like this was so I didn't watch season 1 live. I watched season 5 live, and that also is how I felt watching season 5. And I will say the only reason why season 7 will probably still go over 5 for me is that, one, there was a black man and a black woman in the actual finale. They also, I liked most of the people that the season gave us. There are some people they could have kept, but for the most part, I don't have a problem with the cast. I think the cast was good. I think production screwed up on a lot of things, and I think the fans screwed up on a lot of things. I don't blame the cast. There of course are people on the cast who should not have been cast, but that's a whole different thing. But in general, I like this cast better than I like the season 5 cast, to be honest.
Yeah. Yeah. They were horrible.
Yeah. So for me, this still is a win versus that. So it still will come in probably under 4, but before 5. Whereas I think for me, if Alandria and Nick had won, it would have come in before 4. But
Hmm.
even still, I don't know, that Huda and Chris shit that just it's rough. It's rough. Miss Scott is here. Miss Scott says Huda and Chris are giving Jake and Liberty. Jake and Liberty did not go to a final. This is worse. This is the worst thing that is we've ever watched happen.
And the people are still on the internet making her the victim. I went on there and they were like, oh, poor Huda. The fact that Chris came in and gave her false pretense. It's like she's never accountable. She is never accountable. And I am just so glad it's over. I cannot take it anymore. I
Yeah,
can't take it anymore.
yeah. Prishay says I've been watching through Twitter and I checked out a little bit after Casa. I mean, I don't blame you.
I don't blame you either.
KB is here. KB
Hi,
says,
Casey.
"Hey y'all, glad it's over. The season, the stand culture was way worse than the cast. No, it's
Absolutely.
not even stand culture. It's just social media on like in general. Because I mean, what's the excuses for brands basically helping to do microaggressions and racism against the black people on this show?
It was
That's not
awful.
stand culture."
It's awful.
Kayla is here. Kayla says,
Hi,
"Hi, ladies. I was tickled at Chris and Huda this season, this episode. What a waste of a beautiful date. She shouldn't
absolutely.
have been there."
He told her, "I'm not gonna pick you up." In other words, bitch, walk. I was like, "Oh my god, oh my god, this is what I'm talking about. Y'all were never even friends. This is what I'm talking about. This is why you don't be humping somebody so soon. This man ain't even couldn't even pick you up and carry you across the water. That's crazy." That's why I fast forwarded through their declarations
Uh,
because what could y'all be saying to each
I
other?
did. I didn't even write it down. I
What could
skipped
y'all
the
possibly be
entire
saying
thing.
to each other
What?
after
There's nothing.
he don't even want
There's
to sleep in the bed with you? Like, what could y'all be saying to each other to become emotional when y'all don't even like each other? I was like, this is to hell in a handbasket. And that's what they deserve. They deserve for that to happen in their finale because they tried so hard to build this arc for her to come back and be redeemed that they deserve for their finale for one of their couples to not even be together. They deserve that.
yeah, yeah. This was this. Guys, I've never seen anything like that. KB says, I say stand culture was absolute worst part of the season. I agree. Five was still worse than this season. Yeah, we agree
Yeah.
on one. Chris literally told that girl to shut up in 2 episodes. Looked depressed, checked out, was over her manipulation, phony tears. And KB feels the brands often respond and follow what they believe is trending. The stand culture starts and the brands reinforced it. Yeah. Well, I mean, I did
That's
post
awful.
something similar to that um, chastising a lot of the black high level social influencers who sat there and over critiqued the black people on this show
Absolutely.
because again I
You
know
know, she
people.
responded to me and told me, girl, bye. She was
Oh,
like, "You're
I'm not
mad." She's
surprised.
like, "You're mad because I didn't vote the way you wanted me to." Okay, girl, bye. And
I'm
I
not
told her, "No,
surprised.
that is not why I'm mad. You're missing the point, which
She
you have
doesn't know
missed
the
the
point.
whole season." She don't want the point.
Yeah, she don't want the point. But that's why I said all these people were like riding for her in the AD and Ashley situation. I kept saying, I said, anything that I've seen, she has been overly critical of a situation that at the end of the day, AD, you're calling AD a bird for what? AD is not a bird. Now,
Right.
actually, that's a whole different story. But even still, you're talking about you're trying to save her. Save her from what? She's already
Exactly.
married.
Thank you.
You sat there and digged into three children's life, outed them, upset their world for what? Anyway, so yes, I put out a post on most of my social media platforms, except for TikTok, to discuss how these large social influencers sat there and over critique the black people on this season. And it basically is because, again, black culture rules the world. And, they want to say that we don't have that sort of social influence and power, but we do. So they go with what we are basically saying and doing. If you allow them to sit there and crap on the black people on this show, that's all they're going to do.
Right.
And I said, people saw Serena win last year and they thought it was so easy. They thought it was so easy. They came in at the end of the season, hurried up and watched the entire season. They weren't there for the ride. They weren't there for the up and downs. They weren't there for on Tuesdays when they would sit there and show stuff about Serena, and people would go and send her death threats because she wasn't doing exactly what they wanted her to do where it came to Cordell. And then they thought it was so easy, the fact that she won, because Serena's a star, right? I I mean, there are people on this season who I will agree are stars, but the fact that there was a point where Serena was just like, "Oh no, I'm not doing what y'all want me to do. You're going to have to edit around my story that I'm about to write," is not easy. Understand that. It's hard as hell. And so all she could do was be herself, put
Absolutely.
herself out there, live in her truth, and they couldn't edit around her at some point.
Mm-hmm.
It's a feat. And then because she did that, it miraculously gave us the ability to then be able to vote her and her man to win this show. Do you see how on Friday they sat there, and it's obvious that they cut out, because when you see them in After Sun, it's obvious they cut out a lot of Alandria's kisses with Nick, a lot of their conversation with their parents, a lot of stuff, because they wanted Amaya and Brian to win. A black woman could not win this season. I've been saying it since the beginning of the season, and everybody was just like not listening to me. And some days I'm like, I wish I had a larger platform so that people would listen to me. I have been saying it. I called it. I kept telling my friends, I said, Ace and Shelly are trending outside of the final four. And I'm so mad I was right. But I saw it. I said, if we will be lucky to get Alandria in with the right partner. Thank God her and Nick coupled up. She would not be in this final.
No, she wouldn't. Nope, she wouldn't.
And then because Shalace wasn't there, and then Alandria and Nick were there, we thankfully, I feel like, got them to second place.
Yes.
But I mean, a lot of Shalaces checked out, didn't refuse to vote for other people. I'm not blaming them. I'm just stating the case as it is. Understand this.
Absolutely.
I'm not blaming anybody. You did whatever you wanted to do. That you're entitled to that. I'm just stating what we were up against.
Right.
They cut out Nick and Alandria's connection, and I am not saying Nick and Alandria are. Although I did do an edit today of them to Princess of the Frog, but
oh, you did?
I did.
Oh, you didn't send it to me. I didn't. See
it's on my threads. You didn't see it?
I didn't see it.
It's on threads. It's on TikTok. It's on Instagram.
Okay, I have to go on there.
Yeah. So for if you didn't think they were a fairy tale, I'm not saying they're a fairy tale. But in the context of this show, what happened to them is stuff that you would want it to happen.
Yeah.
If you started off in the beginning with the potential of a connection, and then road bumps, and then you get to the end.
This is the stuff Hallmark movies are made out of.
Yeah.
If you're watching a Hallmark movie, you're like, oh, they're gonna finally get together,
And the story's not finalized. The story's not
right.
written. This is not everything, but they have potential.
They do,
and that's all I ever asked for. I knew that Huda and Chris had no potential. I don't care about Iris and Pepe's potential.
Let me tell you something. Regardless of whatever happened with them, Nick would have never told her, "You can walk." He would have never done that. He would have picked her up.
He would have carried her on his back if he could. Never.
It was crazy.
Never.
That whole thing was crazy. And I was fast forwarding, right? And I saw her look like she was crying. And I was like, oh, shoot. So then I rewound it and watched it. Because I wasn't going to watch it. I was only going to watch Nick and Alandria's.
Okay.
And when I saw her crying, I said, wait a minute, let me see. I said, not breaking up at the table, the lady trying to sing. I was like, this is trash. This is trash.
I have never, I'm sorry, I've never seen anything like this happen. But yeah, so my whole point to say is I think there was a lot of Shalace fans who thought it was easy. I think there's a lot of other fans who thought, oh, we could go and over critique these black people and we'll still get black love in the end. And no, because the general public doesn't care about black love. They don't care about preserving it. They don't care about protecting it. They don't care about ensuring that it is represented on the show. We saw it with season 3. Like I said, no monoracial black person ended up in that final. Season 5, sorry. Season 3, we did have Charlie end up in the final. So there was one black guy. But season 5 was the only final so far where there was no monoracial black person. Season
Yeah,
1 had Ray.
Yeah, Corey's mixed, right?
Yeah. Corey, but no, so Corey's mixed. Charlie is black, full black. Season 3. Season 5, Taylor is mixed. She's biracial. That was
Right.
it.
That was it. That was it.
And so I say this to say,
Oh
if
no, is Hannah mixed?
she is also mixed, yes.
Okay.
She supposedly Ari told me she has identified also as black.
Because her daddy's black, right? That's what I
Yeah,
thought. The father that
yeah.
passed away. Yeah. I thought that. Yeah.
He
Okay.
passed last year. But yeah, so we had some representation, but it wasn't a full black couple. Last year we got a full black couple to win, and I told you guys it would be an uphill battle to get a full black couple to the end, let alone a black woman to win this show, let alone a black man to win this show. And you see the feat that we had. They thought it was so easy, and even last year, we tried to say, like, you could tell they wanted Kendall and Nicole or
Yes.
or Kayla and Aaron to win. They tried it even last year. They did not want Serena and Cordell to win. Serena and Cordell wrote the story of a lifetime. Now that was a fairy tale. That was a
Yes.
miracle. That was a Thanos snap,
And
as
still
I
going
said.
strong. That was
They
fate.
are still
That was love.
going strong. That was fate. That was your string theory. That's the invisible string. This season, we didn't have a lot of that, and then they created villainy of situations that are regular. And the cast was good. I keep saying, I know a lot of people, oh, this is why you don't cast influencers. I think for influencers, especially considering they came coming after season 6. Season 6 is this huge bombshell season. These people did what they could do. Right now, though, we have Ace and Shelly who are literally coming off of social media for like weeks, they've said, because of all the hate that they've gotten. They can't come back on social media because of all the hate that they have gotten. So yeah, while Amaya won this show, and yay, it was also off the backs of black people. Because in order for Amaya and Brian to win the show, they made villains of Ace and Shelly. Understand that. And I've been the staunchest of Amaya defenders on here. I've told you guys, I like Amaya. I've been Amaya. But she was no victim. And you do her a disservice by pretending that she is one. But congratulations to her. Congratulations on her 100K. But understand how we got here. And I'm going to say this. This is why I created this platform. I literally created this platform. I never even thought I would be doing this. I just did it to promote other people that I saw on social media who did not have even the inkling of voices to be able to promote themselves. So I did edits. I shared their stories. I shared their posts because I wanted them to flourish. Mm-hmm. So we see the black men and women from prior seasons, they had a uphill battle. Congratulations to Alandria and Shelly for reaching 1 million followers on Instagram. They are now, if Amaya does not identify as black, which I don't know, if she does not, Alandria and Shelly are
identifies as Latino, correct?
Right. Yes, but that doesn't mean she's not black. Because technically, Shelly is also a Latino.
She's Haitian, right?
Yes, because it's a Latin country. Right. They share the same island, the Dominican Republic and Haiti. They literally split down the middle. But one was colonized by Haiti, by France, and the other one was colonized by Spain. Yeah. And as KB is saying, she's Dominican from New York. She may not identify as black, and I'm not going to take that away from her. I know a lot of people are like, "Oh, she's black. She's black." I am not taking away her right to identify herself, so I'm not going to state that. Yes, they share Hispaniola, the island. So if Amaya does not identify as black, Shelly is now the fourth woman in Love Island. Actually, she would be the third in the USA and the fourth in the universe to have 1 million followers, and Alandria would be the fourth and the fifth.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the only other person who is black who has 1 million followers is India, outside of the USA. Women. There's some guys who have it OV.
Oh, so Whitney doesn't have 1 million? Whitney or oh wow, Ella or any of them? Okay.
Ella does, but Ella's not monoracial. She's biracial.
But I thought she identified as black. She does not?
She identifies as biracial.
Oh.
So understand it is not an easy feat to do the things that they did this season and still thrive. And we do shout out Serena Page because this is on her back. It really is. People took it for granted. They thought it was so easy. They thought that they could create stories and narratives and comparisons to get certain people to the end. And as I've said from the beginning, there is no comparisons. There's no reason to compare. All of these people are who they are. And we should just enjoy their stories for who they are. But we also have to understand that the show creates a narrative. The show creates a story. It might not always be true.
Absolutely.
And this goes even for a Taylor, a Clark, a lot of the black people who came through this villa who, they had their share of people who were, talking about their looks and blah, 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 blah. So I just want to state that this is why I say those things. This is why I have this platform and use it the way I do. This is why I will always, always do as many PSAs about what I'm seeing and why we have to be careful. It's just media. Media is not the easiest thing to navigate. Tasha says facts. KB says to some extent, how you curate your feed algorithm matters. I mostly saw only positive support for the Black cast this season and last season, but I intentionally disengage it with negative content. And I agree with this. When I was going through and people were like, "Oh my God, TikTok hates this person, hates that person," I would go through my TikTok and I was like, I don't see any of that. I don't see none of it. I don't see none of it. Now, I will say I did see a little bit of it on Threads. I stopped going on Facebook a very, very long time ago because they are consummate for doing stuff like that. And of course, saw stuff on Twitter.
The Facebook, I'm gonna have to get out of that group. They are the worst. They
Yeah,
irritate my soul.
I got out a long, long time ago. I can't do it.
That Facebook they just
Sharnice is here. Hey, Sharnice.
Hi.
3M Shaw is here. 3M Shaw says, "Hey, the season started with so much promise, then it crashed and burned because it was too overproduced. Guys, over it, they can cancel the reunion too. Congrats to Maya, I guess, as long as it wasn't H." That's where I am.
I don't understand why they're having a reunion. I honestly don't.
I don't either, but we're gonna see. 3M Show says, "I didn't watch the clips. I've seen the joke of a finale warmed my cold Shalace's heart. They deserve the spot, but they're too good. They truly won in the end. Love, impact, and a proper send off." Yeah,
Absolutely.
he says they could have gotten there. The season was ruined by the cast once they decided to keep Huda. They should have voted her out, probably, but at this point, can't go back. Sunny Days is here. Sunny Days said they tried so hard for Kayla and Aaron. They gave them the winner's ed and everything, but the crying and Aaron and Casa ruined them. And imagine if that hadn't happened. Most of the cast was fine, KB says. The majority and even the Casa boys and girls were pretty decent. Most brought something to show. That's how I feel. I felt that they were a good cast. Danita is here. Hey,
Hi,
beautiful
Denise.
ladies. Hey, Danita.
How are
And
you?
Shanice says, I'm actually glad Amaya won for Nick and Alandria to have some peace. They don't need to be the season winners. This fan base doesn't deserve it. And I come to that conclusion. I wanted Alandria to win because I wanted her to have the money because, to be fair, it is penance for the shit that she went through in
Right.
this season.
Absolutely.
Um,
Absolutely.
but considering her and Nick have decided to explore their connection and how very, very, very popular they are, this actually might be a blessing in disguise that they decided
I think so.
not to win the
Well,
show.
they didn't win. Well, not they decided not to, but they didn't.
Because this, well, I'm still blaming editing for them not winning the show. They cut out a lot of their family dates, family time. Like, they cut out everybody else. You saw them sit around with the family talking at once. We did not see that with them. They cut out them kissing. They cut out a lot of stuff in that last Friday episode. So people were still like, yesterday people were watching After Sun, and they saw them like looking at each other, and how they were like she was sitting on his lap. She was like, I think, the only one sitting on his lap in the confessional, and these people are like, oh my god, I see it now, I wish I had voted for them.
I didn't watch After Sun. I'm sick of all of it.
I only watched it because people kept giving like different things of what happened. I'm just like, what are you talking about? So
Uh-huh. I did
um
see a clip, and I think I did see her sitting on the lap. They were answering some questions and drinking a drink or something.
yes,
Yeah, I
yes.
did see a clip or something. They were saying the
And
drink.
it was very clear from yesterday, that the show had made sure that Amaya won. One, they did an extended version of her song. They made sure to put that on social media, and that it was going to be an After Sun. They made sure everybody in the panel said the reasoning why Amaya and Brian should be the winners. Very little about any other couple. It really was down to them and Nicolandria, but very little about Nicolandria. Um, even with the vote already being done. So I saw the writing on the wall. If you see my tweets, I already said I'm pretty sure Maya and Brian won. You can tell. I Then they put out a statement. So they did that clip where
They
they.
could have kept that. They could have kept that. They
But
sure
I
could
think
have kept
they only put it out because what happened was they on IG and Twitter, they put out that thing that they were going to put Amaya's extended version of her song, and the entire thing was filled with people who were angry
it.
and like, why are
Really?
you pushing Amaya? And it's obvious that she won, and why are you doing this? Same thing on IG. And so I think they realized, oh, we thought that we made sure that somebody everybody was gonna like was gonna win. They're going to be mad. That's why they put that statement. Because they didn't fucking put that statement when any of the black girls were getting fucking death threats.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. They can keep the shit. They can keep it. I'm so
Yeah,
done. I mean, you can tell me what happened on the reunion. I'm checked out. I'm checked out.
yeah.
I'm good. I'm good on that.
Sunny Day says, honestly, I think it's better Nick and Olympia didn't win. I think winning gives added pressure, and they still have
Absolutely.
lucrative opportunities coming if they decide to stay together. And as I've been saying this, I said it to Danita yesterday. If they decide to stay together and really actually explore their connection, they will have less pressure. They're going to make the money back. To be honest,
Right.
they're going to make this money.
Right.
I feel like them together have more pull than Brian and Amaya. Amaya is a brand on her own.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sunny Day says they released stills of their family chatting together, but they were the only ones that got edited out. Yep.
Mhm.
And Theo Shaw says, great point. It was definitely off the blacks of black people, and it was very much turned into Pity Island. I like Amaya, but
Absolutely.
if we're talking about connection, it wasn't her win. But I guess again, I'm not mad at it. Yeah,
Right.
I am not mad. Understand this.
Long as Pepe or Huda,
I,
Iris and Pepe and
I
Huda and Chris,
right top
long
two.
as they didn't win, I can just,
Yes,
I can at
this
least
was the correct top two for the final four that we got.
yes, I can
Correct
stomach
top
it.
two.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
If they
yeah.
would have won, I mean, the fact, it just was trash.
Yeah,
Oh my gosh, it was so terrible. Ugh.
yeah, yeah. Danita says agreed. Nick and Alandria didn't go through enough as a couple on the show to be prepared for a huge fandom as winners. Yeah, because we see the stuff that happens to Serena and Cordell. Serena gets consistently bombarded. Her house got broken into. They have so much fan things that happen to them just from being a super popular couple and the winners. And we
Right.
don't see that with their counterparts on the rest of the show that didn't win. They don't get bombarded by fans to the point where they went to Paris and had to run because they got bombarded. They went to Coachella and had to run because they got bombarded. Nobody else that is happening to.
They don't bombard Leah?
No. Nope.
Oh, that's surprising. As many
Yeah.
fans
I
as
mean,
she
not to
claims she
me.
got.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, not to me. Denise said, so now they are able to explore without the winner's title hanging over them. Kay's here. Kay says, hello, ladies. I hope you're doing well. I was hoping for a Nicolandria win, and I wish them well with the next step in their journey, but congrats to Amaya and Brian, pretty much.
Yeah.
Sunny Day says, yes. Even Ace said that he had Amaya and Brian as his number one. Like, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't. Because I don't think that. Tasha,
I think they just wanted Amaya to win. At that point, I don't think it was Amaya and Brian. I think that he just felt like Amaya had been through enough, and it was like if somebody got to win out of the whole thing, let it be her.
yeah. Um, uh, Tasha says the second place always do well, so really hoping for the best for Nick and Alandria. And it was on Google yesterday. Yeah. So, okay. So an article was put out yesterday. Missy Joy sent it to me. Some other people sent it to me. Some international website apparently put up that Amaya and Brian had won. To be fair, they could either known or the odds were Amaya was winning. The betting odds was that Amaya and Brian were winning. And
Right.
to be fair, there were a lot of brands who were insisting on Amaya and Brian winning. I state that I feel like the show did what they did towards the end to ensure that Amaya and Brian won because the brand links that they want to have will continue. We see in this finale that and the episode before, all these things are being now sponsored by other brands. For the first time, the family day was sponsored by Coffee Mate. So that's probably how they got families flown into Fiji. We saw today the spa day was sponsored by CeraVe, right? These are things that
Oh,
haven't
fast
happened
forward.
before.
Didn't know it.
Yeah,
Fast
yeah.
forward.
These are things that haven't happened before. Before we've had like, Maybelline sponsorships for, kissing challenges, and we had that again this year. But I understand now this Love Island USA now is a big brand, and they're now catering to these new fans and to these big brands. Tasha says people said the
CeraVe is
statement
the
was
one with
because
the commercial with Serena and Cordell. I love that commercial with them.
people said the statement was because people were sending hate to Ariana. I mean, yeah, but
But
also,
she could have saved them tears too. I heard she was crying on After Sun. She could have saved those tears because I love her. Let me tell you something. Her fashion, her hair, her body, everything is tea with that. Like she gives every time. But I need for her to sometimes keep her little opinions and things out of the interviews because
yeah,
sometimes she do too much with that, and I
yeah.
need her to rein that in. Like just rein that in because when she said, "If I was Huda." And I could do that too. I no. What did she say? She said
She said that
I
I
would be
would be a
jealous.
little insecure if
If,
I was Shelly, if I knew that Huda could do that to my man too.
and I was like, that's inappropriate.
Yeah.
That's totally inappropriate for her to say that. So I just stuff like that. I just wanted her to dial back. I just want her to dial that stuff back.
Um. So yeah. Key says she deleted the Love Island app so fast. Prishay says I hate production because you put Alandria through all of that just to push Amaya as a winner. I've said this to you guys, they were never going to let another black woman to win this season. They just weren't. Sunny Days says, right, the prize money is only 25K each. The opportunities could blow the prize money off the water. Absolutely.
Well,
Absolutely.
it's 50K each, right?
No, so it's after taxes, she's saying.
Oh.
Yeah. Mary's here. Mary says, I'm
Hi,
glad
Mary.
it's over. This is how much Love Island Australia go. They are this messy. I mean, this is not even messy. This is weird. Like just weird.
I mean, when has a couple ever broken up on the finale? I mean, because I don't watch Australia and all that. I don't watch all that. I met Liberty and them and Callum, on Love Island Games. I don't watch Australia. Have you ever seen a finale where the couple breaks up on the final date?
Mm-hmm. No. Never. Sunny Day says, I think it was a Fijian newspaper that put it out. They probably got the press release and then released it early because it came out right after the finale would have been filmed. Yeah, I mean, in general, Peacock doesn't do press releases like that. So I think that they would have just had to have gotten insider information if that's the case. I think they want to pull in a new audience. There's a bunch of Amaya and Brian, the first Latino couple to win Love Island. Yeah, again, understand this. You know me. I love representation. What Brian and Amaya represent for people, because I saw it, like Latinos up, blah, 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 blah. Fine. Happy for them. They deserve it. But not really, because he did it off the back to black people. So, okay, sure. But okay. But that doesn't take away the representation of her women winning. Congratulations. But I'm just saying, storyline wise, they had to make three black people, to be honest, villains in order to do that.
Just That's what I'm saying. They really wanted Huda to win. That's who they really wanted to win. But when they saw that couldn't happen, they were like, let's pivot to Amaya. But they really wanted Huda to win.
Yeah. What you call it? Sierra.
Oh yeah.
Joel said, didn't Nick admit to have well over 100 sex partners, body count, and then his dad said he's proud of dad had to be supportive, but where is any morality style? I don't remember Nick being the one with 100.
No, I think that was Austin.
That was Austin.
Nick said he had told people he loved.
He told like 50 people that he loved them, and remember Alandria was scolding. Yeah, Alandria was scolding him. She's like, "You just tell that to anyone." He's like, "I'm trying to make it 51." Yeah. No shame, no fucking shame. Oh my god! But let me see if I can find it because I wrote it down. But I'm pretty sure that was Austin. Pretty sure that was Austin. Damn, I don't even remember what episode that was. That was like what, the first episode, second episode? Because Bella Dasher was there. Belle Dasher was still there.
Oh, okay, I think it was third, but I don't know.
Oh yeah, because she was there till like episode 3. Yeah. Yep, it would have been third. Let's see. Nick had comparing cases. He sent to 800 nudes. Do that. Nick's body count is 22.
Yeah.
Austin is 104.
Yep.
And Nick had the lowest body count. Ace is 25. Taylor was 21.
Mm-hmm.
Jeremiah was 32. So, yeah, no, that wasn't him. That was Austin. Wrong white man. Fair, but also wrong white. Kay says, yes, the producers definitely pushed Amaya and Brian as winners. You called it last night. I did. I hate that I've been so right all fucking season because everything that I Mary says, I do wish Iris got third of a Huda. I know people in the chat think I was a Huda rat, but I who like good TV. Iris getting third would have felt karmic. It would have, but listen, we can only do but so much. Tasha says, so basically, they still did not say anything to address the hate that
No,
Alandria and Shelly
no.
had. No, and that is why we see Ace is like going on a social media cleanse for the next like 2 weeks. His handler said not to look for him, and I think Shelly too. So, I mean, I think it's unfair. While yes, they ultimately came up with a good connection, and I'm happy for them, but they suffered, which is why I wanted one of those
That's
two people to
awful. That is
win the
so awful.
$100,000. This is, I mean, all I can hope is that they, like we saying, they're make it up on social media because this is crazy.
Yeah, yeah. Oh man. I hope they going somewhere on vacation.
It says season 6 up. That production budget for season 7 sure did through sponsorships alone. Um, Rachel Marie says,
Hey,
hi, ladies. Didn't Ariana provide commentary on season 6? Was there the same backlash last time? No, because her commentary on season 6, she was actually really, really good. She was fair.
yeah, and she just kept it like, like generic, but
Yeah.
it wasn't
And she
nobody
was
crossed the line.
supportive.
So
Yeah.
nobody crossed the line like Huda. There was no
Mhm.
Huda, so there was nothing to for her to comment in
Yeah.
reference to that to be out of line. You know what I'm saying? Like nobody was doing all of that. So there
And
was nothing
she
for her to
really
comment on. She never
genuinely
called
seemed
anybody
to,
insecure
yeah,
for
she
season six.
genuinely seemed to love all the girls. She never chose sides. Yeah, no. Um, Sunny Day says this is the first time across all seasons and franchise that a couple broke up at the finale because they never should have been there.
Thank you.
Joel says, "Sorry, Nick. Are you apologizing, Nick, for your for your wrong statement?" Crochet says Austin and Charlie had over 100, and I need to see what those women were seeing. Well, to be fair to Charlie, he lives in the UK, and that seems to be the average body count. So weird.
And for some reason, a lot of people be saying Charlie is cute. I don't find him attractive at all, but
Not at all. His
obviously
brother's cuter than him, though. I
some
saw his brother
people
on the internet.
think
His
he's
brother's cuter,
cute.
but
I
still,
don't
yeah.
know.
Mary says, I think it's a season in Europe where they took the money, right? I don't know. I've never heard that. Denise says, I love me some of my papaya, but I can't help but think that some of those votes were for her were pity and hate votes from other Islanders' Final Four outcomes. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Mary says, Australian Love Island is demonic. I would not recommend it if you want Huda level drama. And Sunny Day says Amaya and Huda were really two sides of the same coin, but because
Absolutely.
Amaya didn't go as far and it's quirky, she won. Yep,
That is
yep.
what I've been saying the whole time. I said that probably Sunny days. I don't think you were here, but I was saying that on Friday, Thursday, and Friday. I was saying that they are the same, but it's just that Amaya is more digestible because will self deprecate. She will laugh at herself. She will.
She'll apologize, to be fair to her.
Huh?
She'll apologize, to be fair to her.
That's what I was saying. The difference is she can be self reflective and come back later and say,
Yes,
you know what? I'm sorry. I'm
yes,
sorry. Like she
yes,
apologized to Ace again, even though they had already made up again at the table. Like, I shouldn't have talked to you like that. Like, she's able to say that. You know what I
yeah,
mean? But Huda can't. I
yeah.
mean, the way she told this man, you got to the count of 3 to turn around, where he trying to sleep. Who are you talking to? Who are you talking to?
And it seemed to me like she was trying to have sex. She's saying
She
cuddling,
was. She was. And he don't want it
and
because
he
he don't
doesn't.
want
He
you.
didn't want her anymore. He was
He did not.
looking, just searching for his family to come into that villa and say, "No, we hate her. Get away from her."
Right. Right. And they wouldn't say it.
I didn't want to say it. Nia is here. Nia says, "Hi,
I
ladies. I
know.
also agree. Love Island USA did not want another full black couple to win. I wonder, given the state of affairs of Latinos, ICE, did producers see this as a win to be culturally relevant? Hey, also fair. Also
Nina,
fair.
I'm telling you, Nina, it's nice to see you here. I'm telling you, they pivoted. They wanted Huda to win. They
Hmm.
wanted Huda to win. Then they wanted Iris and Pep. But when they saw that it just could not happen, it could not happen under no way, shape, or form. They marketed it to Amaya because they were like anybody but the black people. Okay, like they really wanted Huda to win, and then when they couldn't do that, they were like anybody but the black people, and then they went to Amaya. It
Yeah.
wasn't. They probably the people that call ICE. They didn't. It wasn't for something beautiful. It wasn't.
Yeah. Um, Tasha says people are still in Ace's comment with negative stuff, which is why he's not on social media. And Sunny
That is
Days.
crazy. The man not even in the villa anymore. What are y'all talking about?
Yep. Yep. On behalf of somebody that just won the show.
Oh my
Ace
god.
will be fine. I already seen people trying to get in on traders or
House of
House of
Villains.
Villains.
He's not a villain.
On the
They
villain.
tried to make him a villain, but he's not a villain.
I have yet to see what he did to deserve this. Same here. Rachel says, I just wonder if the backlash against Ariana is because Shelly was a fan favorite. If she made the comment against Sierra or Iris, I wonder if people would care.
I don't know, but I really don't think you should be saying anybody should be insecure because she's making moves like that on their man. I don't care who it is. I don't think she should have made that statement because Huda was wrong, and you know that she was wrong because you've seen the raw footage. You already know she wrong.
She
So for you to
doesn't see, she doesn't
she
see the
doesn't
raw
see the raw footage.
footage. She watches it. The only person who like sees the raw footage is Ian because he doesn't know what they're gonna cut out. So he does commentary on the entire show, and then they cut around his jokes that they want to keep. So
He makes commentary for the entire day,
mhm,
and then they do it.
mhm,
So he has to do like 7 hours. He got to just go through the whole day and just
mhm.
for both shows. When is man sleeping? How is
Well,
he doing
remember
that?
that there's a time difference, so he was explaining what he does. So, but Ariana
Okay.
sees the show that we see. After Sun, they see the show that we see.
She knows something else happened. She not dumb.
Rachel says, "I voted for for her personality. She's the Amber UK season 5." Okay, I don't think so, but sure.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right. Yeah, no. Honey, as long as Huda didn't win, I can deal with it.
KB says, I've been saying that Amaya also doesn't seem to be using her tears to manipulate either. She's just feeling deeply. Yes. And I do think some people do feel like Amaya uses her tears. And I just feel like, as somebody who cries at everything, some people just cry.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dream Show says they're even still building off the backs of black people. The Deadline article about the reunion list who's going to be there, and they put Shell and Ace first, even before Amaya Bryan, who won, and other finalists. Yeah, I mean, and then on the flip side, People Magazine did an article and specifically cut out Alandria and Nick.
I saw that and then had to come back and do the repost it, but never apologize.
Yeah. Um, Sunny Day says Chris wouldn't have turned around because he didn't want to make it any more messy because he knew he wasn't continuing on that side. Yep.
Yes, and then also, everybody doesn't want to have sex. She has to learn that just because you want to have sex, even if somebody really likes you,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes people just want to go to sleep, and it don't mean they don't like you. But it's
Yeah.
all in how you talk to me. You can't make me just turn around and be into it and want to have sex with you. And why are you still trying to have sex with me if you don't even want this to continue? It's very weird. It's just very weird.
Yeah. Yeah.
She needs some therapy and some healing. It's just weird.
Um, DM Shaw says, I low key don't want any of my people, basically all the black people, to go to the reunion, especially since it's near Shelly's birthday, but they're probably contractually obligated. Probably.
When is
It's
the
probably.
reunion? It's in Virgo season.
It didn't say. I would have to look in my email, which I was trying to find my phone to see if they sent me an email on it, because they also announced. Sorry, I flashed you. Hold on. They also announced that Love Island Games will start September 16th. So,
August 25th. Everybody's saying August 25th.
okay, so then yeah, they must have announced it. I didn't get to check my emails because
That
I
is
was
Virgo season.
taking notes. So let's see if they
Okay.
sent any more information. Yes. Oh, yeah.
Oh, it
They did.
airs on Shelly's birthday. Oh, her birthday is the 25th. So it's probably taped shortly before. Okay.
Oh, yeah. No, so it'll be taped before. Um. Oh, damn! They sent me who won shit at 8 o'clock, and I didn't even read it. That's funny. Yes. August 26th at 6 p.m. Monday, and
August
yeah,
25th or 26th?
5th,
Okay.
and then Love Island Games September 16th,
Okay.
which means they're probably
Hosted by Ariana and Andy.
yeah. I'm
Andy
annoyed.
Cohen?
Yeah, I'm annoyed by that. I
Why would
wanted.
they need two hosts?
I don't know. Why would they not have Maya come back to host? I'm very annoyed by that. Danita says Huda uses her body to keep a man, and it's sad. She did it with Jeremiah, and then she continued with Chris. Baby girl doesn't need a man; she needs a therapist.
Absolutely.
Baby says, I think they really wanted Alandria and Nick to win, but neither were willing to break from Tay. And I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that. They specifically
I don't
made
think so either.
um they specifically made Alandria a villain for a while now. No, I don't agree with that. Sunny J says, yeah, like literally their connection is because of a cult following, not because the producers wanted her with Nick. They wanted Nick with someone who looks like Nick. Sunny Days, yeah, they gave him a rough cut, and then they he does his commentary, and then they do the
Oh, okay, okay, okay.
yeah. So they give him he sees more footage than anybody.
Right. But I thought he was going through the whole day. Okay, I get it now. They give him a broad cut and then they make a final cut. Got it.
Yeah. Rachel Marie says the people snub reminds me of what they did to Kate. That's exactly what it reminded me of. Exactly what it reminded me of. So Denise says, yeah, they film it a few days before, so she'll be able to celebrate her birthday on her birthday, and they'll probably do it in New York. They'll probably still be doing press like the last time. And Ariana isn't the best reunion host, so hopefully Andy makes it better.
He
Yeah,
doesn't do better. You seen him at the Housewives. He don't do better.
yeah. I
He don't
wish
do better.
they had gotten like Kiki Palmer or somebody.
Right.
Tasha says they had put it in Iris for Nick. I think so too. 3M Shaw says, how will the reunion even work with two hosts?
It's gonna be
I don't
trash like the rest of the season.
know.
It's just they go from bad to worse. It's
I
just
mean, Andy is a
crazy.
better host. He's a better host. I mean, he hosts Traders. He hosts Traders Reunion. He hosts the Real Housewives
I
reunion.
know. I watch all the Housewives, and thank God for the fans' questions because
Yeah,
he does not always hold them accountable either. He has his
yeah.
favorites, and he
But he has his
does things.
favorites,
But
right? So that's what was happening too with Ariana. So it's like we weren't getting questions asked or pushed back and then follow up. And so maybe Andy not being part of the regular, I feel like he does a really good job with trader reunions because I think, unlike with Housewives, he's not as fully involved. All right, let's get started on
I
this
don't know.
episode.
I didn't even. I didn't. Okay. Okay.
Um, Nick, Nick and Alandria, we see they break away from the rest of the final four. And Nick says congratulations, and Rachel Marie says I think Andy will be the lead host, and Ariana would chip in. Ariana will be the Vanderpump rule, Lisa Vanderpump for the Vanderpump Rules. I've never watched that reunion. So what does she just like sit there and like overlord? Maybe that makes sense. And Alandria, and he takes Alandria and he dips her onto the couch and they make out. And he finally admits that, oh, Kamisha's here. Hi, Kamisha. Thanks for joining me. Um, Rachel said pretty much. Okay, so yeah, that's probably what she'll do. She'll probably be better to do that. Did I lose you? Oh, okay, you're back.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
Alicia says hi.
Hi.
Mary says the only thing about Bravo shows all of Better Papa Rolls the Valley Summer House is they're so male centric and misogynistic, so they will go right along with this season.
Yep.
Yes. Mary says what Love Island doesn't need is Bravo people coming on the show. True. Sunny Day says Nick was trying to keep it PG for his mom, but he redirected his hands at the beginning of the fair. And Kamisha says I can't wait till the reunion. I'm trying to get them interviews some anyway. Okay.
I
No.
hope you get them. That would be good.
I'm hoping that's the next thing I could work on is to start getting interviews. But
Yeah, that would be great.
I need a bigger platform for that. So Nick says congratulations, they make out, and he finally admits he's the one that kissed her when they were blindfolded. So everybody had speculated that he had never actually admitted it, and we've come to find out he had never actually admitted it.
Something. He been holding that this whole time.
This whole entire time. She says he never came out, but she felt his beard. And he's like, well, I'm coming out now. I'm telling you, it was me. And she says, well, why did you kiss me? And he says, you were someone I was interested in. And she said, so then why didn't this happen? And Nick shakes his head. He says, I don't know. And he says, I was interested, and the villa literally turned me into a different direction. And we know, literally the next second, Sierra comes in, kisses him, and chooses him to spend the night with. And then she said, yeah, you were in a whole love triangle. And she admits, I wanted nothing part of that. And she says, but she supported him. He's quite the catch. They're very cute, guys. I'm down for whatever they choose. And to be fair, I think with the Tres Leches coming out of the villa, I don't know how much they will be hanging out, but I do think that with Shelly and Ace and Taylor and Clark having their abilities to like explore their connection, they're also going to want to hang out with them, and that might help keep the bond going between them. But I feel like they're being very intentional, which I like.
Yeah, I hope they just have some time to themselves too. I want them to just have time to themselves because I don't want her to be back awkward. I don't know if being around Taylor and Clark makes her feel awkward in any way. I don't know. Even though she doesn't want him anymore, it doesn't. Sometimes you can still feel awkward, like you know what I mean. So
well, that's what I said about Sierra. I was telling, I think it was Danita said, at the end of the day, they're going to also have to have a conversation with Sierra. And I don't know what that's going to look like. And if I was Sierra, I would feel away. Right? And she's like, yeah, I could see that. I'm like, because even if you understand him moving on, even if you love Alandria, because she put out that she loves Alandria, she loves Nick, she cares for them, you still have in the back of your head, like, was I in the middle of like stopping them from being able to connect?
Was his feelings for me real?
Was his feelings for me real?
And
Was
she
she?
should question that. And she should look back at the episodes,
Yeah,
and she should read his body language,
yeah,
and she should pick up on the fact that she was leading. Like, coulda kept saying, I initiate everything. She needs to pick up on the fact that she was doing that with Nick. I mean, Nick liked her too, but she guided the situation, right?
yeah. Well, somebody said that in the beginning, Taylor and Alandria was the one putting in the more effort into the relationship, and then after Casa, basically Nick was treating Sierra like Taylor was treating Alandria. And so it's like, well, like you should have all these questions, and I feel like it's valid for Sierra to have questions about
Absolutely.
whether her connection was real or whether, she was stopping them from actually connecting. And what does it mean? Can they be friends? Is there going to be something that gets messed up? Sunny Days feels like they are adorable. I honestly think if they gave a real chance, they could be together for a while. Big thing when family genuinely approves, honestly, especially in an immigrant family. I agree. The
Hmm.
big thing that they have, and I said this before as well, that they have on their side is family approved. It was going to be the biggest thing against him and Sierra. His family did not approve of her, and her family did not approve of him.
Right.
But that should say something because a lot of people just saw that their connection was not even. It was not a good connection. We said it here, and I don't feel like, unlike the Jeremiah Huda connection, where I think he grew to hate her, unlike the Chris and Huda connection, where I think he is a game player. He chose her. He tried to make it work to the end, and then he also grew to not like her. I feel like Nick liked Sierra, just not as much as I think he has a potential to like Olandria.
Absolutely.
And that is the sad point of it. So that's what they were seeing, just like Taylor's family. Taylor's family liked Alandria because
Hmm.
why shouldn't they? But Alandria's family did not like Taylor for Alandria, and in hindsight, valid, right? Because he wasn't her person. So
Right.
when you go back and you see that, and she says it, she'll say it on their date, but she's like, and I said, she saw the potential of what Taylor could be. He was a country guy. He lived
Because
in
she
the
wanted a
South.
cowboy.
Yeah, she's like, the lifestyle wasn't necessarily her, like it didn't fit like a puzzle, but it had the potential to really give her what she thought she needed and wanted out of a dating relationship. So that's why she was so like, okay, I just have to work to make this work, whereas she usually will exit stage left when she sees that it's not working. So I mentioned that I think a couple episodes ago. But yeah, you know, they have, I feel like, less barriers than Taylor and Alandria and Sierra and Nick would have had. They have every, like the entire world to be fat. It's probably more pressure than to stay together than it is for them to not be together, right?
Absolutely. And she's at the right curve, because I think a lot of women, I'm not going to say every single woman, but a lot of women learn in their 20s that they have to stop dating for potential, right?
Yeah,
A lot of women learn like at their late 20s, like, hold on. They wake up and they're like, no, you got to come to me already potential. Like,
yeah,
that's my new thing.
yeah,
You got to come already potential. I can't be working with your potential. And you learn that, in your late 20s, because at first you're just like this idealist and you're like, oh no, he has the potential to be great. And this is how I want to live my life. And he can do this, and I can be a stay-at-home mom, and this could be this way, and we can live on a farm. And because you made it in your head, that's what you want. So you're like, oh, this could work, instead of seeing them for who they are and how they are, and knowing that that really doesn't fit what I want.
correct. So, and that's why people now they're always like to me, oh, like I am very very picky about who I date, and it's because I no longer date for potential. I don't need potential. I'm not looking to have children with anybody. I'm not looking to rush to be a wife. I've been a wife. I've had 3 children from being a wife. Um, I know what I want, right? I know
Mm-hmm.
I want a strong, solid partner. I know the things I want in a partner. I know the things that work for me. I know what I can give to a partner. I am not looking for your potential.
Right. Absolutely.
um, because at the end of the day, potential is not going to work our relationship to be a strong foundation, which is why, like, I tend to date younger, but I also don't date younger men. Like,
Yeah.
I don't date, like, some people date men in their 20s in my age group, and I'm just like, for what? What does that do for me? Um, if you're even in your early 30s, for me, you would have to have children, because I'm not having any children. You have to have a good job, and it's very few and far between of people who meet that need. If you're older than me, it's like, you have to understand that I'm still young and vibrant. I'm not trying to just like say, we got to go on, trips and dates, and I want somebody to woo me. Like, I don't,
Absolutely.
because otherwise I could have stayed with the man I married, because that's
Right.
what he didn't do, and we are the same age.
Right.
So yeah, like, I'm very picky about what I want, but my whole thing is, I either want it or be alone. I could do bad on by my damn self at that
I
point.
agree. That's my stance.
But Danita agrees with you. It'll be easier with exes, without exes around,
Yeah.
at least in the beginning. And Sunny Days feels like for Alandria, I think she's finally realizing that it's real, that it isn't some fetish. That's the only reason why I'm on the board. I don't feel like he's fetishizing her anymore.
Mm-hmm.
What he's genuinely saying about her, especially, I know people are like, oh, there wasn't even a lot in his declaration, but to me, what I read, listened, and heard in his declaration, I said, no, Nick really sees her. The fact that he calls her his hard-boiled egg, because she's hard on the outside and soft on the inside, Nick sees Alandra. The fact that he
And he
said,
wants to protect her and take care of
yeah,
her. I
yeah,
don't think he's gonna play with her feelings. Even if he decides that it's not
he
working,
doesn't
he's
like
gonna
it.
have a conversation with her.
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
not about to play in her face and play with
no,
her feelings. He's not
no.
about to do that.
He says, I see that you're a sensitive soul, and the fact that he sees that tells me that he sees Alandria, because there's a
Right.
lot of people, like, I don't think Taylor saw that about her.
Right.
They see her just as a strong person that she is. She is a strong person, but she has this side that she doesn't show to a lot of people, and I think Nick sees that.
Yeah.
And that's all I ever wanted. That's what I was saying during class. I said, no, because I'm not seeing what other than he thinks she's beautiful does Nick think about Alandria. But he said in here, it wasn't until Casa that he realized the person that she was. And so, as I said on my episode Friday, maybe it was serendipity that they coupled up in Casa, production wise or not, because in Casa he got to learn who she was so that he could truly value who she was, to stop fetishizing her, so that when they came around back to this moment, they could both realize, you know what, we can give this a go, because I think they both would have just went home.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And yes, I feel like she's taking Nick seriously because of his age, because she thought he just had jungle fever. Yeah, yep, I agree. Three says JD2. All of Huda's connections growing to dislike her. I think self-examination, why that is. I mean, basis self-reflection to look and see if the issue is you. But even if the issue is not you, why are you attracting all these types of men?
Yeah, but it is her. So I don't know, because she's gonna come out to all of these fans and these people feeding into it and making her the victim and supporting her victimhood. I
Mhm.
don't know that it's gonna make her feel like she needs therapy.
Yeah, yeah. Um, I mean, there's not what we can do at this point. I'm just glad she's not. She didn't win. Sorry for her daughter because I'm sure they could have used the money. She'll be fine though. She has 2 million followers on TikTok. She'll come out. She'll be fine.
Mhm.
Sunny Day says, yeah, Alandria's mom did not like Taylor. She was going off on Facebook. Yeah. Nick seems to be heady. He may have been weighing how he felt about both post Casa, like he did Baldasha, and he may make mistakes, but he does seem to weigh his decisions with intention. Exactly.
Yes,
Sunny Day says that's the only time potential applies is once you're past 27, is that if they're in school, med school, law school, outside of that, who are you at that moment is all that matters. Facts.
absolutely.
Facts. Sunny Days, reading your message, all I can hear is call to say jungle Danita. Um uh Dream Shot says JD2 all wait, no, I read that already. Did you two post that twice? I don't know, maybe I did. KB says same potential is a dream, reality of now is better. For clarity, Joelle says Shelly struck NE.
Is he saying struck me?
Struck me. All right. Joel, clarify what you're saying. Next up, Brian and I are in soul ties, and I'm proud of us. You look fucking good. I like you, and that's all I've got from them in that conversation because all they did was kiss. And listen, again, I like Brian and Maya's connection, but I'm not like a big into like physical connection. I'm like, what are the words?
They
Where
don't say a lot of words. All they do is make out. That's what they
yeah.
do.
I don't know. Anyway, but they both. It seems like physical connections is their love language, which is great. It's not my biggest thing. Sunny Day says, I think only Huda is going to go into therapy. Is if she actually watches the show, even though a bunch got edited out, and that's the only way. I mean, I don't know. She is I don't have a therapy license. So I'm just going to state my
I
opinion about her. She does. So tell me if I'm wrong. She is an emotional manipulator. She has no self reflection. I think that is a storm for not going into therapy
absolutely.
because what she does is she's just like, oh, the problem's not me. So then she just goes to somebody else to manipulate them to feel sorry for her and
Absolutely.
and and give her that it's like a succubus, like feed off of them that all of the emotions of her victimhood and turn
It's called
them
hostile dependency.
and then turn them against the other person so that they feel like it's them, and then she just goes and repeats the cycle over and over and over again. This is what I've observed, and I just this is just me as an observer because
Hmm.
that is the only license I have.
Ain't nothing
I
wrong with
don't know all the terms because I had to look up the emotional manipulation part the other day because I was like, no, there's a word for what she does, and I looked it up and I was like, no, because literally she took her emotional manipulation and used it on Chris to turn him against Shelly. If you watch back that
absolutely she did that. Absolutely. Because she saw it as a
he
competition.
did.
And she's saying to him, would it be better if I was ugly? But
Mhm,
really, she wanted to know, do
mhm,
you find me? She was looking for him to say, oh, maybe, yeah, because you're so beautiful. Like, because she saw Shelly as competition. And
mhm,
she thought, there's no way I'm winning this competition. He giving her more pancakes than me. He bringing her flowers. You know what I
mhm.
mean? She already got another man that's bringing her flowers. Now this one, I have to
Which
get
is why she did what she did to Ace. And that's why
absolutely,
everybody in the villa said no, she disrespected Ace and
absolutely.
Shelly because Pepe said, no, that seems like a bit more than a heart rate challenge. Because Andrina said, no, when you go the way she went, it's as if you are trying to be with that person. So
Yes.
at the
She
end of
wanted
the
both of
day,
Shelly's men to want her.
Correct. And at the end of the day, that's why she's sitting there doing what she was grinding on Ace and looking at Shelly. And that's why I kept saying, I said, guys, Shelly sending her ITM. It's not about the kiss, because Shelly sent her ITM. She was looking dead her in her face saying, it's a challenge. It's a challenge, while doing whatever she was doing. And I said to you guys that whatever she was doing, she was doing it on purpose to get at Shelly. She wanted both the Shelly's men to, like, feed onto her.
Mm-hmm.
And then when she saw she could start manipulating Chris to turn against Shelly, that's what she by step started doing. Oh, she won't talk to me. Oh, they're all mad at me. Oh,
Mm-hmm. Right.
she little by little, so that it did turn him against her.
She did that the whole season. She would take 5 words out of a whole conversation, and she would go back and tell the other islanders, this person said this. She never would tell the full context of any situation. She went on that date with Jeremiah. She asked him, well, what do you think about eventually, like, if things go right, like we could live together? He was like, oh, well, we would have to get there, whatever. She gets back. He's talking about living with, he wants to live with me. He wants to come move. I mean, and that is not what that man said, but
That's
that's
not what
what
she
she
said, but
would
she
do.
did
That's
it
what she
to
would
make sure that none of the girls went after him. Like, this is how serious we are. Like,
Right.
don't you see? He's saying, he's initiating. He never said that shit.
Never.
Joelle says Shelly struck me as the best soul, and then Alandria a close second. By the
Yeah.
third episode, this was clear. Thanks for a great season of commentaries. You're the best. Thank
Oh,
you.
that was nice.
And I agree. I think they're both beautiful souls. For me, Alandria's personality just shined through. I think she's a star. Just something about the way that she is both strong, and it might just because I'm a oldest daughter as well. Like, there's just stuff that we can't do, and there's stuff that we have to deal with, and you could see, she just keeps her wall up, and it's like, oh, and I could tell that she really, really wanted love. And for me, I guess with Shelly had Ace. I knew that Ace was would always figure out a way to pick Shelly, because that's who he ultimately wanted.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. So regardless of whatever, I knew that Ace would come back around to Shelly, regardless of whatever journey he took to get there. And we see that. But I just didn't see Alandria's person in the beginning, and the fact that she was trying so hard and you knew she wanted it. And I was like, all these people are calling her delusional, but I don't feel like she's a delusional person. So, and we see that there's no way she could have been delusional. Everybody in the villa said that he also must have led her on. So it is what it is. 3M Shaw says, yeah, I deleted a reward. Okay, no problem. Sunny Day says, y'all think we don't see them talking a bunch. It's because they're speaking in Spanish most of the time, or they're just not speaking much because of that. That's
I don't know.
possible.
I don't know.
But why couldn't they show us them speaking in Spanish and just translate it? Sometimes they sit there and give us translations when we don't ask it, and the people are actually sitting there just saying regular English words. If they're just speaking Spanish, just translate it for us. I don't have a problem with that. I wouldn't have a problem with that at all. So if that's what they're doing, they're also doing them a disservice. KB says no psych here either, minor only, but Huda shows markers that she definitely won't seek help, and she will manipulate to always make herself the victim, and no accountability. Mary thinks the UK is a great background noise if you're doing chores. Yeah, I'm gonna try to get into the UK now that
I
we're
just
doing.
got caught up. I just got.
I can get caught up, and yeah, so that's next. KB says even when others are talking to her and trying to get her to reflect, we saw her ignore the discussion in real time. Her ignoring was shown unedited. Absolutely. Kay says, I think that Huda's normal behavior and her family and friends need to let her know she honestly needs some therapy. They might have let her know, and
Yeah.
and she
Because it
just
seemed like her
doesn't.
one sister was like, "You need to learn
Yeah,
how to shut
you
your
could
mouth."
not do
And
that.
so she's
Yeah,
had that conversation with her before. Like,
yeah, yeah. She's not irredeemable, but she has a lot of self work to do. I agree. She probably won't seek therapy though, especially with all her friends gassing her up. Yeah, that's the part.
yeah,
She's not
yeah.
irredeemable. I'm not saying she's a horrible person. I'm saying that she needs help. She just has to seek it out. She might not seek it out for years. KB says even with Chris, she slept with him, but kept referring to them as kissing at night, and actually displayed a real example of gaslighting. Yeah, I agree.
Exactly.
KB says she has a huge fan base, and unfortunately, that's going to affect her taking accountability. But because they will make her a victim, boost her ego, which is why I unfollowed her on social media. I was following her at the beginning of the season. I was very excited for what she brought for representation, but I know that she will never be able in this silo that she's about to come out of be accountable to herself and let anybody else. She's going to be a victim because she came out with nobody. First of all, first of all, we might see her try to do things to break up other couples. Second of all, we could see her trying to steal somebody else's man. Third of all, I I'm saying I don't want to watch it. I will not follow her.
Yeah.
Yeah. KB says no. There's shown speaking Spanish. Alandria speaking Spanish. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If that's what they're doing a disservice. Just give us the subtitle.
Hi.
Tia's here. Hi, Tia. Tia says hi, ladies. Danita feels same. I had to unfollow her as well. Best of luck to the Huda rats out there. I am good. KB
I
says I
never
think
followed
Huda
her.
family. Huda's family is enablers. She didn't get this from nowhere. I bet money she wasn't held accountable for things as a child and probably weaponized her tears. True, and that's why probably we see her able to do things outside of what we know are normal cultural norms for her family type and culture. She said she's the only one in her family who's not married. She's probably the only single mother in her family, right? Um, they probably just allowed her to do whatever because she just learned to eat, like emotionally manipulate. Tia says, I didn't appreciate her having her hand on Nick's back when he was kissing Alandria at the pool at the end. I
I
didn't see
must
that.
have missed that because
I
I was
was
fast forwarding.
yeah, I was like, let me get on this show. So yeah, Brian and Maya. That's what I saw. Chris and Heather was there. She's shocked they still are there, and I said, yeah, same. And she said she's gonna put herself first, and she's grateful they met each other. Chris says it was for a reason. That is all I got out of that conversation. Shanice says Hilda's biggest ops are going to be her fans, and I agree. Iris and Pepe talk. She's glad she's ending it with her best friend. Won't just date anybody. I guess that was supposed to lead to somewhere. I'm sure they're probably saying they're
Oh, now
dating.
they're best friends. Okay.
Yeah. 3M Shaw says, yeah, I think I remember her saying she's the baby of the family and only one with the baby. Yep. Brian says to Chris they thought they would be shipped off. They're the last Casa Boy standing, and all only Nick is left standing for OGs. So yeah, Huda thought that she would be going home. We
We did
wish.
too.
Boys, they do Ace's little move, and then Alandria gets in the bed. Nick, you smell good, oh. And I love that he started calling her. Oh, did you notice that?
Yeah. Hmm.
They're like, he's in deep. We never heard him call Sierra anything. He never tried to do a couple name with Sierra.
No, he didn't.
So a lot of this is telling. Amaya jumps on Brian. They do pill fights. Huda gets hit in the nose with Chris, his pillow.
Oh yeah, and that's probably what really like once she did that and was like, "You hit me in the nose" and all that stuff, he was like, "I'm just going to bed," because now
Yeah,
it's always turned into we were just having fun, and
yeah,
now again you the victim, and
yeah. Dream Shot says he didn't even know how to spell Sierra's name. Yeah. And I listen, if he lets Sierra on, that we will have to find that out. I don't stand for that. I don't think he let her on. Um, I don't think I even ever said that. I've never felt that. I thought they were pretty equal in scamming that relationship. To be honest, I still do. So yeah, but that's for her to kind of figure out.
hmm
Um, but she tries to wake him up to cuddle, as we discussed. Text, final dates, and so the dates are: first up is Alandria and Nick. Time to go on your first date, and she tells them that they kissed the night before, and that she's so excited to see and nervous to see what this date is. And Nick does ITM to us. This is their Love Island book coming to an end, and he couldn't think of a better way for it to end than with this woman. And he truly cares about her.
Now,
Um,
why couldn't they show us them kissing in the bed? Like, if they kissed in the bed, why didn't they show that? They,
no,
they show everybody else kissing.
they've not shown her kisses, mostly anything. And he said this could be a sign of what this could be. And I was like, the thing too about Nick, and I agree with KB here. I don't think Nick led her on. He seemed very interested, but things changed in the villa, and it is what it is. Nick is very honest. Like we have, like he's the one that's told her to her face. She should have went home. You
Right.
did wrong. Blah 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 blah. He doesn't care. So I don't think he would. And even TJ said if he didn't feel something for Alandria, he wouldn't do all this. So I don't think he's lying. And they're wearing green and white. They look cute.
They
Um,
do.
and so like for the sea, and so Alandria says she's looking forward to this date because she's looking for a little romance, and he
Mhm.
gives her butterflies. So this is the
Nice.
first time that we're hearing her say
I
that she's
like
actually
that.
giving Fanny flutters.
Yeah.
And she's nervous. She's been on a high all week, and we could tell. This
Yep.
I said, I think I said it Friday, and I've been saying to everybody in the matter, this is the happiest
We have seen her.
we
Absolutely.
have seen Alandria all season, even at her highest of high moments with Taylor.
Absolutely.
This is the most secure. This is the happiest that I've
Yep.
ever seen this girl in this villa.
Yes.
And she does say she will be happy regardless because with him, he makes her happy.
Yep.
And we see it. We see it. Um, and so they do take a boat to their own private island. They do the jacket row.
Titanic thing.
Titanic right here. Danita says, I think 2/3 of the Stooges, their props, they will be direct. Can I will give 2/3 of the Three Stooges, Tres Leches, their props, they be direct. Can't say the same about the third one. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe he's more direct with the person he likes.
Maybe.
Um, so they get along the way, and I think they're the only ones that got this, right?
You know I didn't watch those other dates. You know that.
So you guys, if y'all watched the other days, because I fast forwarded really quickly, but they're the only ones that those little messages. And I
Yeah.
think that if Ace and Shelly had done it, they probably also would have gotten it. But they're the only ones I feel like got the message in the bottles along their private islands, which I
Yes.
thought was great.
That was
I didn't write down all of it, of course, because length of this, but it was like, Nick, you are the perfect man for our Ola. I love you two together. This is a victory for us. And Shani says, yes, they were. Tia says, I watched all the dates. I
You
watched it,
did?
all the dates. And yes, they are the only ones that got the messages. So yes,
Okay, good.
uh,
Y'all
and
did the people's work. Thank
yeah,
you.
thank you. I said, and then I love you two together. This is a victory for us. You bring out the best in each other. The way you look at each other is not just eye contact. And then Alandria, this is the most we've also seen Alandria cry. She
Yes, it
literally
is.
cried from the night
Like
before until then.
Shelly leaving. She been crying
Yes,
ever since Shelly
yes.
left.
She cries a bit. She says, "Oh, I that one got me." She's like, "I feel like we missed our story."
Right.
And Nick says they were each other's roadmap to getting through this. So they
Hmm.
sit down at this beautiful floral setting with fruit platter and like a sofa on the beach, and he says that he asks her if she's ever been in love, and she says she's fallen in love with potential, not the pattern. The potential of what a person could be. And she realizes now that she did that in the villa as well. And she did. She
Hmm.
did.
Hmm.
Nick says, I feel she asked Nick if he has oh no, that's she Nick says, I feel like love is like a seed and you water it and grow it and grow it and it will get bigger and bigger. And I was like, I love that
Me
analogy
too.
because I
Me too.
I truly believe that. Like you, especially being married and then being divorced, if you do, there's ways to do it, but if you don't continuously grow it and weed out and take care of the flower that is your relationship, your love, your compassion. And that's why I said the basis of it has to be you have to like the person. You have to have a solid
Absolutely.
friendship. You have to care about the person because when all the other things, physical connection, angerment, all that stuff comes into play, like you can't be physically connected because either you can't be there with each other or somebody's sick. You have to have that basis in order to keep the love there, to
Absolutely.
keep having it grow. And people don't realize that. They think, oh well, if he just likes the way I look or if he likes the way I touch him, that will continue our relationship, and it
It
won't.
won't. It
And
won't.
this is from somebody who married. I married my best friend in high from he was my best friend in high school,
Hmm.
right? And we came out, and I do feel like the worst thing was that I think at the end of the day we're not each other's person because he and I just could not grow together.
Hmm.
Like we just wanted two different things out of life. So we met very young. We married not that young, but we married young enough.
Yeah.
But ultimately, the people that we are now at our age are not the people that we started off with in 18. I mean, that's just it.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. And so Alandria asks, has he ever been in love? And Nick says, I've been in love twice. But they say third time's a charm. And I think your third one is supposed to be the one. And Nick says, you take your love plant out of here. And Alandra says, and continue to water this on the outside of here. And Nick says, keep the pacing of how we are now. And Alandra says, I love communication. So you won't have to worry about that for me. And I think he had expressed that, right? That's one of the reasons why he both cheated and also had difficult time in his last relationship because they were
The
long
long
distance.
distance, right? Yeah.
Yeah. And so he wasn't getting enough communication, not an excuse for him to treat, but that's how he felt, right? He was also young, right? Um and Nick says, yeah, he's like, I see you get that from your mom. I see the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. And she's like, my mom doesn't play, so you see where I get it from. But also, no one has ever met my mom. He's like, you've never introduced another man to your mom? And she's like, no. And she really likes you. Nick says, Jennifer really likes you too. Elijah says, Felicia really likes you. Nick, Felicia, and Jennifer. Elijah says, I will be in Florida having dinner with my new family. Nick says, I told her, Alandria, Miss Jennifer, I'm coming. She better know I'm coming. And Nick says, I'm excited for you to meet my dad. And Alandria says, I can't wait for you to meet my friends. I think that they will really love you. And her friends do genuinely like Nick.
Yeah.
Whereas I don't think they like Taylor from what I remember. But they
Right.
weren't really like very outwardly saying anything
Right.
until Taylor like really just disrespected
Just
her.
had pissed them off. Then it
Yeah,
was like,
yeah. Alandria says, I can't wait for you to be my friends. They really, really love you. And Nick says, if they clap back as good as you, I do. I feel like I could do well. And Alandria says, you got this, Nick. You were pretty good. I see you in action and I've got your back, so I don't mind. Nick says, me and you, we are a power duo. And I really truly feel like friends, not friends, I really do agree that I think that they could be a really good duo. Like I
yeah.
said, like a travel show. Like I see the potential for Nicolandria that doesn't necessarily have to be romantic. Hopefully, they have really good romantic chemistry. So hopefully it does turn romantic. But even if it doesn't, even if it's just friendship, we see Toby and Kaz. They are really good friends and they do a lot of work together. And sometimes it's really just nice to just see them together doing the things that they're doing. So stuff like that. Alandra says, "Oh, this is gonna be so fun," and I love that she said this because I think this is a good icebreaker to the people who think that this is going to be some sort of serious romantic relationship when they come out. They are looking for the adventure that
Yeah.
love can bring them.
Absolutely. They
And I
want to
think
have
that
fun
they do.
together. Yeah.
Yes. And they should. When you are first dating, that is what it should look like. It should
Absolutely.
look like an adventure. It should look like fun. There shouldn't be these hard, rough, bumpy moments that make it hard for you to see where things end and where things go, right? Like it should be fun. So the fact that they're going to tackle this as an adventure that only the two of them can take together, I think is a great insight. But I said I think they're being very intentional. I think they're being very intentional. And she says, I'm nervous, but I'm excited at the same time. And then Nick says, I really do appreciate you, your loyalty, your sensitive side. I call you my hard boiled egg because you are hard on the outside, but you're soft on the inside. And Alandra says, I want to continue to be an anchor in your life and support you, have your back. That's never going to change, even when we enter into the real world. And Nick says, this is something I want to keep exploring. So I'm glad that he initiated
Yes.
that. We
By
said
saying it. Right.
before,
But
yes,
let me make it clear. I want to make
yes,
it clear. I want to
yes.
keep exploring.
Because we said before, a lot of times it felt like he temperature checked her and he would stop. And I'm glad that here he said, no, I want to keep exploring this. And whatever the result is, I know that we will support each other in everywhere. And I do have love for you, which I knew right off the bat that he was going
That
to say
touched
that.
me when he said that.
I
I
knew he
think
was
that's
going to
what
say
I
that because I could see that. It's like that. But that's why I said something changed because the Nick that was in Casa with Alandra is not this Nick. This Nick sees her for who she is. That
Mhm.
Nick saw her for what she looked like. Um, and that I keep wanting to water it and I want to see where it goes. And Alandria says, me too. And thank you for being you. And they kiss. And
Mhm.
then they run to a hill with two messages. And it is one message, last message in the bottle for Nick. And it's his dad and it says, my firstborn, since the day you were born, you followed your heart and blazed a trail. And it's been exhilarating and exhausting at times to follow that trail. Watching you on screen, just being you, it's been wonderful to witness the bromance and the romantic connections. It's been great seeing you and Alandria have come full circle, really. And I can't wait to see what happens coming out of this villa. In my experience, the best relationships are based on solid friendships with a common interest and goal. That's what mom and I have. 35 years in and still in love. And when the final votes are tallied, whether Nick Alandria comes on top or not, both of you have already won. I cannot express how proud I am of the man that you are.
Mm. I
Beautiful.
cried.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
It was
And
beautiful.
Nick says, I was so curious of what he thought. And Alandria says, ah, there's one for me. And she has him open it. And he said, and he shows it to her. And she's like, ah, it's my sister. Can you read it? And he's like, you don't want to? She's like, no. So Nick says, I love you. I'm so proud of you. I wouldn't ask God for another big sister ever. You have a huge piece of my heart, and I love you and Nick together, and I love him for you. He really does like you. And I'm so glad her sister said this
Said that. Uh-huh.
because whatever doubts, I think they realized that Alandria was doubting this.
Right.
And so they want her to understand the doubt. And I know Nick's dad, same thing. He wanted him to know, no, understand, I see you guys and I see that you guys have what me and mom have had to make it. You guys have that.
Right.
And so she says, I love him for you. He really does like you. And he's shown it from day
The
one.
start. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think he's a really good one for real. And tell Shelly, I'm still mad Shelly's not here.
I
For
know.
she is gaining 2 other sisters. Love,
Oh,
Aisha.
oh, so sweet. I cried at both letters.
So Alandria cries, and now I'm like, oh, not my baby crying. And he hugs her, and
Yes.
he says, to have their support is everything you don't understand. And there's one more letter, and he continues reading that one. He says, I'm so proud of you throughout this entire journey, keeping your values and holding your crown high. You will always been my role model as an older sister. And yet again, you give me some things to look up to. I will always be a fan. Nick and Alandria, keeping you, sis. Love, Sam.
Oh, her other sister. It was so sweet.
I know. And so Alandria says, my sisters liking you. They don't really usually like anyone. And so they kiss at the top of the hill. Their date was beautiful.
That was such a cinematic moment. Them kissing at the top of that hill. It was so beautiful. I loved it.
Yeah. I'm glad that they didn't try to do a movie date. Everybody wanted them to get that movie date that Cordell and Serena got. No, that was special for Serena and Cordell. And please stop asking people to do a movie date. That was for Serena and Cordell for a reason. Thank you. So annoyed. It was like all this. They need to get the movie date. No, there is no movie date. The movie date was the story of Serena and Cordell.
Right.
There is no movie date.
Right. Everybody's date needs to be different. Why do you want them to keep doing the same thing? Just let them.
And I think this was more beautiful for them
Yes,
because he
it
was saying, I was wondering what my dad thought of this, and the fact that he wasn't here because he didn't
Right.
come. I was worried, but to know that he's into this, I think we're good.
Right.
Tia says, I knew that Nick and Alandria and Amaya and Brian were top 2 because they both had heartfelt moments in their date. Agreed. Kay says, I really enjoyed their date. It was the best one, and those messages were so sweet. Alandria was so touched.
Yes.
Anita, Aland barely cried in the villa scene. No one touched her. Yes. Kay says, don't tell nobody. I'm about to jump off this dock because that date was truly communication and intentionality. It will help the bond grow stronger. Oh my God, not Kay's jumping off.
We won't tell anybody, Kay.
I'm dipping my water. I gotta see the interviews first, and then I'm gonna let you guys know if I'm off the dock. But my foot's in the water now, bro. My foot's in the water. That's a lot because I was waving before, but now my foot's in the water. Yeah. Ari's here. Hi, Ari.
Hi,
Ari. Yes. Mary thinks that she was still hoping for Pepalandria, but let me
Mary,
find
please,
Bob.
not now. It's too much going on. We don't need the jokes. It's too much going on. We're just trying to get
Says, I think at the very least they could have a really positive 20s relationship, fun, no pressure, no thoughts about kids or responsibilities. I really hope they follow through, though.
Me
That's
too.
what I'm saying. That's why my foot is off the dock. I see it now. I
Yeah.
didn't see it before.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, I think this Nick with this Alandria is totally different.
Right.
Um, than what I was seeing when they were pushed together in Casa. And that also, my lesson, I wanted to tweet this, but I didn't get to. This should tell you you can't force things.
Right.
Because even two people with this much strong romantic chemistry and connection were forced together at a point in the show, and it didn't work still because when the timing is right, the timing is right. You're not supposed to force these things.
Mm-hmm.
And that should be a lesson.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you can't force it. You cannot force it, and they did try to force it. But if
The
Sierra wasn't gone, it
production tried to
probably
force it.
still would have never came. You know what I mean? It's just about Sierra being gone, and then it's like, well, what you gonna do, and you know what I mean, that type of thing. And then it happened. I think if Sierra was there, they still would have never seen the potential, even.
No. But maybe they would have seen it on the outside. We never know.
Maybe.
Because to me, I believe in fate. I believe that things that always are meant to be will be.
Yeah, absolutely.
So if this was supposed to be something that they were supposed to explore, they were always going to have to explore it. But that's what I mean. Like, you can't force these things. Ari thinks the date was giving Ariel and Prince Eric, and
Oh, sweet.
I might have to do an edit to them next then.
I gotta go
I
on.
already did my princess. We did our Princess and the Frog one, Ari. So next will have to be the Little Mermaid. Danita says, still on the dock. I'm watching. I'm leaving. Oh,
Yes, yes.
Ari says, I agree. I have one foot in the water, the other not while I'm sitting on the dock. Everything happens for a reason. And Kay says,
Absolutely.
oh, yes, I can't wait for interviews. That's what
Me
I'm waiting for.
neither. I'm waiting for those too.
And Ari also believes in fate, and that yes, let's do Little Mermaid next. So yes, that will be my next edit, guys. So if you didn't see my edit on TikTok, Instagram, or Threads, check those out, and Twitter. But yes, I did the edit to Princess and the Frog, and there will be another edit then, obviously coming out. And what will be would be. Kay is here, and Kay says that's exactly what their dates was giving. I just love how over the course of the season, Nick went from a young frat boy to a mature, handsome prince, all from being with Alandria.
Absolutely. Because like Nick's mom said, Miss Jennifer said, Alandria makes any boy kind of man up. She brings out the man in you.
Yes,
And it was important to Nick that, like, okay, I need to
she
match her.
sees
I
it.
need to
Yes,
mature.
yeah,
My
yeah.
frontal lobe is developing. Like, I need to, you know what I mean? Be
Because
mature.
even when they were getting ready for the date, they're all like, "Oh, you're about to get freaky." He's like, "No, that's
No,
not the vibe. This is not the
no.
vibe. It's
Right,
romance." Like, and
right.
I love that because he knew that that's what she wanted. That's what she would,
Exactly. He like
not
he
joking.
like Rico Nico
Yeah,
is hidden tonight,
yeah,
boy.
yeah.
Like I'm going to go on this
He's
date.
like, she needs me to be real, and I think it's because he wanted her to be real. Like, are we going to do this? Like, is this just a
And she needs to
facade?
know I'm serious. She needs
Yes,
to know I'm serious about my feelings, and I
yeah,
need to tell them to her, and I need to see where she's at. Like
yeah.
you gotta be serious.
So after that, we go back to the villa. Chris and Huda are still fighting. Iris and Pepe get a text to get ready for their date. Alandra and Nick return, and they tell them about the date. Everybody is excited, and they both agree this is something that they want to see out, and they will explore it on the outside.
Right.
Iris and Pepe go on their final date. It was literally a boat, but it was a smaller boat that they were manning themselves. They swim outside of the boat. They go to a reef, and they're planning dates on the outside. That's all I got.
Okay.
Text comes in for Huda and Chris's date. Iris and Pepe return and chat about their date. Chris and Huda go ahead and go on their date. It is a dinner in the water date Chris does carry her over into the date, and then they start chatting, and it's
Oh,
they
so he carried her to the date. That's why she.
had shoes on,
You
and
know, I
so
was fast forwarding.
yeah, and so they do
He petty.
basically kind of go through the conversation of what happened the night before, and then they're long distance, they're not on the same page, a singer comes out and they're singing, and she basically ends up climbing out of the date alone. That's all I got from it. I couldn't watch that date. I was so disgusted. Never again, never
Yeah, and
let
he
this
knew
happen
it was.
again.
He kept wanting her to say it. That was the other thing. Chris is lazy, and that's why I would have never worked with him and Shelly, because Shelly needs somebody that chalants about him, and he don't chalant about nobody and nothing. And she kept saying, you know, I initiate everything. I initiate. You should stop initiating. See if he likes you. Let him initiate. And if he doesn't, go to sleep. And then she was saying that, you know, he kept saying, won't you say what it is? I want you to say it. I want you to say how you feel. Just go ahead and say it. I know what you're going to say. I'm waiting. And basically, he wanted her to end it. He knew it should be ended, but he refused to do it. And he wanted to make her say it. And then when she said it, he want to act like, oh, okay. And then he walks away from the table. I did see this. He walks away from the table. Then he comes back and he's like, "You ready?" She like, "Yeah." She was still drinking champagne. So she gets up and he like, "Why you crying?" She like, "What?" He like, "Why you crying?" She like, "Because I'm sad." He like, "You the one ended it, so why would you be crying?" She said, "I know, but I'm still sad about it." So then he was like, "All right, just come on." And she said, "Are you gonna carry me or do I have to put my feet in the water?" He said, "I'm not carrying you." And then turned around and walked away. That girl had to take off her shoes. She went and poured her some more champagne and had to walk through the water. And that's that.
Yeah, yeah,
Mm.
yeah. No, this is terrible. This,
Terrible. Terrible. The poor lady was waiting to sing, and it was terrible. It was so terrible. When she got back and told the people, Iris was like, "Wait, what? Y'all, you ended it." Like Iris is confused. Iris, oh my gosh, it's crazy. It is so crazy. It's crazy. It's absolutely mad.
yep, yep. Woo! I just atrocious. And if your children were voting for Huda, please have conversations with them. Because what? Thankfully, I had two boys who when I made them vote, they didn't know just did it without arguing. Jesus God, I this should never happen. And then y'all got mad because they didn't just let them do the bottom three and pick who got. This is why. This is why we get that. Sometimes the people in the villa do know better than anybody else.
Right. Oh, I also found out, don't know if this is 100% true, but
Mm.
I found out that that the reason why Chris probably didn't leave is because if you decide to leave, you have to if you say, you know, I want to leave, you have to pay for your own air.
Well, I don't know. Is that the case?
Yes, like if you're eliminated, they pay for you to go home. But
Mm-hmm.
if you self, you know, evict, self eliminate, then you have to pay for your own airfare.
Mm.
And he don't have no job.
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking that he probably would have lost out on his stipend too, because you get a week stipend. Oh, you get a stipend a week. So yeah, and again, it, man said that he could be playing basketball overseas. He's lying.
He's such a liar. But then he comes back and tells you he had a dream and he gonna have to give
You
up
might
on
have to give up basketball. Anyway, this is who
no.
y'all wanted for my Shelly Belly. Like, I won't forgive y'all. Thank you. Benita said, "Wow, the way we've never had people break up during the finale date. Like, at least wait until they're back on U.S. soil. Like, what
Exactly.
the hell?
It's crazy.
Like all the people I told to watch this show, they're gonna be like, what happened? And I'm gonna have to explain it to them.
Right. It's crazy.
Tia says, I was telling my friends that he's an Aries man, and that's when they were like, oh, cool with you. They are sweet people ever, but let them be done with you full on asshole mode. That's what I was saying last episode. Like, literally, my dad's an Aries. My son, one of my sons is an Aries. This is them literally. They don't have, like I was saying with Jeremiah. Jeremiah is a Taurus like me. Taurus men have like longer fuses. They do. They just do. They're more patient.
Mm-hmm.
And so we saw Jeremiah. Jeremiah took it to the end.
Mm-hmm.
So they couldn't take it no more. Now, there's a lot of people who feel like Jeremiah and Huda are going to hook up after the show.
No, that man is done with her.
I'm like, he's done. Like, I don't know how much I can express to you guys. Once Taurus are done, we're done. It's over. It's over.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And so, and I think he knows he could get better than her. So,
yeah,
he might as well go beg for Andrina. Like, there's no reason. But Aries man has a shorter fuse. They will just go full asshole.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I against my better sense, I was talking to a guy who is a Aries, and like he did stuff, and I just like I was very patient with him on the stuff that he did to me. And then one time, like I didn't like pick up the phone or something, and he was a complete dick to me. One time, this man fully stood me up one at a restaurant, and I still talk to him. This is why I say I don't do that shit.
Mm-hmm.
This is what people, oh, well, you got to give the, okay, so this is what happened. And then when you give men chances, that's
Right.
what happens. Give them no chance. But yes, that is what they do. I said, what a wasted couple in Final Four. Like, just like how season 5 ended up with Final 3, that was season 4. But yes, I agree. I would have had more respect that more if he had told her it wouldn't work out and not wasted time during the final dates. Absolutely. Tia says Chris wanted to go home the night that Taylor and Clark went. And every moment after that. Every moment.
Absolutely. That's what I'm saying to you. He wanted his money and he didn't have money to pay for the airfare, and that's why he stayed. Absolutely. When that man, I mean, why are you trying to have sex with a man when he said his peak and his pit? He said playing basketball with the guys was a peak, and he said nothing
But
about
she
you.
hears what she wanted to.
Why are you? No, but she
hear.
heard that. She heard that, and she was mad about it.
But she hears what she wants to hear, and then she just ignores it. Danita says, like, even the friendship couples came off and faked it a little bit. Jeez, yeah. Like Iris says, I do not believe Iris and Pepe are going to be anything outside of this villa.
Right, exactly.
They kiss worse than Taylor together. Can we be for real? I at least believe. Listen, Alandria and Nick might be selling me a dream. I'm believing the dream. You couldn't sell the dream, Chris? Next up is Amaya and Brian's final date. And so when they previewed the final dates on the first look, I said that more than likely, based on the last few years, I believe that we would have Amaya and Brian win. And Huda third. Either Alandria or Iris second or fourth, but I pretty much was believing Nicolandria would have gotten second. And so I was basically kind of calling it based on the first look. If you go back to the, and everybody's like, oh, but Nicolandria is standing where Serena and Cordell and Marco and Hannah were standing for the last 2 years to win. I said, I think they probably switched up the winners. They put Miss Papaya in pink. I think that she probably won. And I called it. So, but yes. Dina says Chris wanted out of the dream. He said money ain't worth the headache. He's like, at this point, he's just here so they don't get fined.
Yes.
And that's basically they were, and yep, called it. So Chris and Huda returned and they ended things. And I was like, this is a travesty.
Mm-hmm.
So Maya and Brian, they have like it looks like a very it
I
kind
didn't
of
see
was
it at all. I don't
it,
know.
it kind of resembled Serena and Cordell's date in that it was like comfy cozy. Serena and Cordell's date was obviously better. Sorry, just was better.
I mean, I didn't even see the date, and I know it was better.
Yeah.
So I
So
mean,
there was romantic music, a sofa, turntables. They had like some Latin colors. And there was a book of photos, and there was a book with each of their younger photos in it, and then they were able to take a Polaroid picture of each other, of
okay,
them together, and put it in the back of the book. Then there
okay.
were sparklers as they danced. That's all I got. If there's anything more from their date, you guys have to let me know, because that is all I got. But they do become exclusive, and hey,
Oh, okay.
and hey, and
Oh,
hey.
I mean, you get out tomorrow. What was anyway? Okay.
Well, I mean, I think they're going to be exclusively dating outside the villa,
Okay.
which fair.
I don't think it's gonna last, but okay.
Yeah. They are all happy for Brian and Maya when they come back and tell them Chris sleeps in soul ties. It's the final day, and again, R&R Spa by Sarah V. And we see Huda and Iris getting a massage. Iris is glad she found Pepe, and Huda is glad she found her friendships and the lessons that she learned, if she learned them.
She didn't learn anything.
Um, Alandria is with Amaya, and Alandria says she doesn't have to keep her walls up.
Right.
And I see that. And I love that.
Yeah.
And Amaya is allowed to be her. And I see that. And I love that.
Yeah.
And Amaya says they are both strong, confident women who found men who appreciate and see that. And I see that. And I love that.
Yes.
And so next in declarations, which I wrote almost nearly nothing about, Huda and Chris come out first. They are in plum, and Maya and Brian are in pink and blue. Pepe and Iris are in white and silver. Nick and Alandria were in this beautiful black and gold.
Mm-hmm. Oh, isn't that wonderful? They're in alpha colors. Eat your heart out, Taylor. No, I'm just
Benita
like,
says they live closest, so they might as well try, at least until the reunion.
yeah, I agree. I agree.
Wait, no, that's what I'm saying. I think they're just saying they're going to exclusively date, which they should. And now that they're the winners, they better at least stay until the reunion.
Yeah.
I don't know if they'll be girlfriend boyfriend. I will say Astrology Island has them having a them and Shelly and Ace having a really good strong matches astrologically.
Mm-hmm.
She does not have Alandria's defining chart in order to be able to say Alandria's matches. Um, but based on their sun signs, obviously her and Nick are a good match, but she doesn't know how strong they are. So that's where we are. They dance. Iris and Pepe. They walked in as two bombshells, the only women he could see himself with. Maya and Brian, their paths were hard. Her path was hard. She finally found her Prince Charming. He says she is a safe place for him, and he's learned to be more patient and wonderful. And then Hood and Chris wrote nothing. Couldn't tell you what they had to say because it was a farce. Alandria and Nick Alandria says, "I am blessed to have met um, the person standing with you through it all. And I'm blessed to have met you." And she said, "And the person who is standing with you through it all just might be the person for you."
Mm-hmm.
And then Nick said, "Dear O, he is excited to go on this highway of love with her. You're
Mm-hmm.
a Nicky Poo." And yeah, Ariana arrives, and the winner of Love Island is fourth place, Iris and Pepe. Third place, Huda and Chris. Second place, Nicolandria, and first place, Amaya and Brian. Brian gets the money. He splits the money, and that is it. And there will be a reunion.
Okay.
Um, Ari says Nicolandria looked regal in black and gold, and Alandria looks like a princess. She did. Danita says that
Yeah.
the way that Alandria's dress was the cheapest Fashion Nova, but she made it look the most expensive, literally.
Nice.
Literally. She also today was voted best dress, well, named best dress by Vogue magazine. They published an article and also posted it with a picture of her and Nick. And in the article, they said she is the best dress cylinder. And again,
It is true. It is true.
I agree. So that is where we are.
Yay. Yay.
Yay, season
Over.
over. Season over. Thank God.
I'm glad it's a year apart because I mean they stressed me the hell out. I
This
mean,
was been a stressful. I mean, I'll be back. I always come back. We say we don't watch it again, but we'll be back.
I'll have to see.
Uh, but
No, I
I
mean I'll start off. I'll start off back, but if it starts getting crazy, I'm gonna cut my losses
yeah,
earlier.
understand fair. Um, so
But I'm
yeah,
excited for Beyond the Villa. I watched the episode and that was good.
yeah. So we were supposed to recap Beyond the Villa tonight, but I didn't realize that the stupid. I was like, I thought they would know not to do a 2 hour show, but obviously they still seem to care about this episode. So they did a 2 hour show, which is probably why they dropped Beyond the Villa this morning. If you did not see Beyond the Villa, it is streaming now on Peacock. The first episode, I have seen the first and the second episode. I will say it's a really good show. I am not blowing smoke up your ass. I like it. I like the show.
I like it
Um,
too.
so I guess we could, since there is no Love Island tomorrow, we could probably just come back tomorrow
Yeah.
and do that, and then we'll probably come back on Wednesday and do Bachelor in Paradise. How does that sound?
Yep.
Yep. And so we'll do the first 2 episodes of Bachelor in Paradise on Wednesday, and we will do Beyond the Villa tomorrow. And then Beyond the Villa episode 2 comes out on Thursday, so we'll be back for that. And Denise says, I'm glad Vogue said that because I was getting a bit annoyed that everybody kept saying Sierra was. You and me both. Because when you told me they were saying Sierra, I was like, Sierra who?
What were they seeing?
Right. And I would like is right there. Period. Three of Sean says it's over. I don't think I'll be back next year. Maybe I'll see what others are saying.
I get it. I
Fair,
get it.
fair. Three of Sean says, did y'all see Shelly's sister clear up? Her dad does like Ace. He just was mad at production, telling him how to act, so he just gave nothing. But he saw online chatter and FaceTime Ace to reassure him. Oh yeah, no, I didn't think he didn't like Ace.
I didn't think that either.
I thought he liked him. Ari says that they are number 2 out of 10 on Peacock in less than 24 hours, and by tomorrow they'll most likely be number. Let me before I go to bed hit the play button again on my face. Absolutely.
Good. That's
Danita says just check out this podcast. That's what I did for the tonight because I didn't even watch the
oh wow.
So Ari says, will I be covering Love Island games in September? And yeah, sure, bet I will. So here's my schedule. I will be covering the following shows for the next few months, and hopefully you can see that. You can see it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so as stated, Bachelor in Paradise, which began last week. We will cover the first 2 episodes this week on Wednesday. Love Island Beyond the Villa started streaming today. As stated, we will cover that first episode tomorrow, and then second episode on Thursday. I will also be back for Perfect Match on August 1st. Perfect Match is a little different because they like to be sending out multiple episodes, so we'll see how we're going to do that. If it's like a few episodes at a time or what. But we will be doing Perfect Match as well on August. What is August 1st? Is that a Friday?
I don't know. Is it
Yeah.
probably a Thursday? Or is it a Friday?
I think it's a
It is a
Friday.
Friday. Yeah, it's a Friday.
Yes, yeah. So I'm off that day. So I think I only have to drop my daughter to the airport so I can like quickly make notes, watch the episodes, write notes, and hopefully be able, if it's multiple episodes, be able to cover that. And I'm only covering it because our girl Justine will be there, and a lot, and then we find out how Adi and Ollie's story became, whether it's on the show or it trickled down till after the show, we don't know. But I'm excited to cover that. So Perfect Match season 3, and then on September. Oh, this is the old one. Sorry, might be on. This is not the right schedule. Might be on. 1 second. Let me find the right schedule. I swear that is not it. Downloads. Here. Sorry. Updated schedule. My bad. Which I'll post because I posted the old schedule, but we got an announcement today that Love Island Games will premiere September 16th, which switched around my schedule. September 16th on Peacock, which
That's a Tuesday.
is a Tuesday, which works because I should be traveling at the end of that week. So that actually works for us. And I'm not sure how the schedule drop is, but once I find that out, if it's a daily drop or a weekly drop, I'll let you know exactly how I'm covering it. And then September 25th, The Amazing Race, which will feature Big Brother alumni and
Yep.
their loved ones on
September 25th.
September 25th, which, what is that?
A
I should,
Thursday.
it's a Thursday. Okay, so I'll be back from my trip by then. So yeah, that should be, so we should be good to go for those two shows. And then Traders, we will cover Traders again.
Mm-hmm.
In the fall or winter, whenever it premieres, usually premieres around January. So I haven't seen anything to say that that's not what's going to happen. So, and I'll let you know if there's another show that I will cover. So far, this is my schedule right now. I'm going to try to stick to it. I think it's doable. Now that Love Island's over, I'm not covering Love
Thank
Island.
God. Thank God.
Thank God. So join us to cover. Miss T Joy will be here with me for
I
most
will
of
be. I will
it.
be.
And I'm excited to continue. And so, if you know somebody who watches any of these shows, if they want to hear co- funny, I think great commentary,
Detailed
send
commentary. Because
detailed
it's
commentary,
very
send
detailed.
send them over our way so that I'm trying to get to my 1,000 subscribers before the end of, well, at least September.
Yeah. And let
um,
me tell you, if they like Love Island, they'll like Bachelor in Paradise. They'll
yeah,
like it. And
yeah.
it's gonna mix starting tomorrow. Because the first episode, Tamika hasn't watched, you haven't watched it yet, right? I watched it, but it just had the Bachelor and
Regular cast
Bachelorette
people. Yeah.
contestant, the regular. And this
Mm-hmm.
episode that's airing tomorrow then introduces the
The
Golden
Golden
Bachelor and
Mhm.
Golden Bachelorette contestants. So they're all going to be at the same the
Mhm.
same resort. And so, they're trying to see if they can find connections among other contestants who have been on previous seasons, and just to see if they're giving themselves another shot at love. So I think if you like dating reality shows and you never watched it, this is a way to see people trying to form connections without everyone focused on one person. As
Yeah.
you're watching The Bachelor or The Bachelorette, all of them are vying for this one person. So it gets
Yeah.
very frustrating because you're like, oh my goodness, you know what I mean? Like he's the prize or she's the prize,
Yeah.
and they have no autonomy. Like they're just trying to get to this person. Whereas this, everybody is trying to form connections, and
Hmm.
you'll get to see, the women being treated like the prize, regardless of, the atmosphere, or that some of them go on dates, and the bartenders, and
Yeah.
now they got a concierge, anyway.
Yeah.
um so I'm like, what was she anyway, I'm not even gonna get started on that.
You can rant when we do the vlog.
But yeah, you should come on. I think you should watch it. You could just catch up on Hulu. You've
Yeah.
only missed one episode. And so, I think it could be something you could get into. So, don't knock it if you don't try it.
Yeah. I think too. I do like what I do like about Bachelor in Paradise. I feel like they mix more, but they're also older, and I think that's something that people
Yeah,
on Love Island could stand to learn. Because I mean, let's say even if I believe Iris and Pepe were gonna stay together, like imagine if they like left with the person that had left, and if they did not
right,
continue to explore the connection, they wouldn't have found each other. With Alandria and Nick, I do think that they feel like that they missed out a little bit because they really like the connection that they have now. They feel the most secure in this connection. And so
right.
if they had maybe just took those chances earlier in the game, what could have been? But
Mhm.
timing is everything. Sometimes, we in hindsight is 2020. And as we've been saying, I think also they needed, as I said, I think they needed that foundation that of being
Absolutely.
friends to get them to where they are. It was serendipity for me.
Absolutely. And there's no voting in Bachelor in Paradise. So
Yeah.
you don't have to worry about that. And the social media, I mean, the Facebook groups, okay, but other than that, they don't really go hard. Like, you know what I mean? So,
Yeah. I'm trying to see if Chantel will join us, but otherwise
yeah.
we are here.
Yeah.
And so yes, as Denise said, our family is back on our screen. Beyond the Villa
Yes.
was great. I can't wait to chit chat about you on that. Danita says that oh, she did that. Kay says, yes, you have to go watch Beyond the Villa too. Please watch that so we can chit chat. I would like to
On
see so many.
tomorrow.
It's so good, guys. If you love the season 6 cast, I'm glad that we got this spinoff. Ari
Absolutely.
says, I thought he was a typical Haitian dad. My husband's high school close friend's dad is the same way, and his mom does most of the talking. That's what I thought. That's what I'm saying. I never thought he didn't like him, because I
Yeah.
think that if he did like him, he would not either be there or he would
Right.
have been vocal about it.
Right.
That's what I know most about most Caribbean men. He wouldn't have shut up about how much he did not care for him,
Yeah.
or he wouldn't have shown up at all.
Exactly. He made that face only when the mama said, he reminds me of your dad. And he was just looking like, how you gonna say what I'm like? You know what I mean? Like, it was just that kind of thing. But it wasn't like, I don't like him.
Yeah.
And look
I
at the producers trying to overproduce, trying to tell him what to act like. See what I'm saying? They do too much. They do too much.
Yeah. Dream Show says, I didn't watch tonight either, and I just learned everything online and in this video. And Delina says, yeah, Mika goes in depth, so it's basically watching the episode. I try. Grace says, I love your recaps. They're detailed and entertaining. And
Oh, you're welcome.
thank you so much, Kay. And Danita says, definitely got to check out BIP because I've got to see how they're doing it with the young and old. Me too.
Yes.
That's I'm interested to see. So that's why I'm glad we're going to just like do a truncated 2 episodes to discuss, because I want to see
Yeah.
into fruition how they're going to do this. But that's it, guys. We will see you guys tomorrow for Beyond the Village. So if you haven't watched it, please go watch it. Please support Serena and Janae and Kenny. Cordell is not a full-time cast member, but he is on it. And they deserve our support. They seriously, if not for them, season 7 would not be where it was today. We see obviously making money. And so Miss Tidor might not be here, but I will be back August 25th for the Love Island
No, I
reunion.
like Love Island games now. No, no, no. I want to see that. I'm
No,
talking
no,
about,
for the reunion.
oh,
Or
for the
you said
reunion. Oh, I don't know.
that's what I said. I don't know if the teacher will be here, but I will be here for the Love Island reunion, which is what I said. So, guys, and I'm going to. I know nobody wants it, but I'm going to say I kind of want to spin off of this cast.
No.
Yeah,
Please, no, Tamika, stop
yeah,
saying that.
I do.
Because you might put it in the universe. I don't want it. I
Like
don't
what
want it.
if they added Shelly and Ace to the spin-off? Like they'll be living in LA, hopefully. Like I want that. I
No.
want it. I
No,
like
because then the
that.
people gonna talk about these people nasty. I don't even know. No.
I doubt they'll do it now, but yeah. I'm excited to see what they do next. I do like a lot of these cast members. Like I said, to me they're a lot better than season 5. So I'm sorry. If anybody likes season 5, I didn't care for that cast. I just didn't. Somebody said, "Oh my God, now Hood is going to be on Love Island Games." Not anybody in Miss Chat on online, and yeah,
Please no. Don't ruin Love Island games. Stop it. That is so awful.
yeah. I
Ugh,
can see
it's
them
so
holding her until Love Island Games. To be honest, Dream Show says, "I like this cast too. Only certain people on the spinoff." That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm
where are they
saying.
all gonna live at?
LA.
No, these people not. No, these people not coming. Amaya and them gonna stay in New York. Um, he got what's name want to go back to the rodeo. Clark is not going down
I
there.
didn't
We
say
have
nothing about no Taylor and Clark. Did I say Taylor?
well,
Taylor
who are
is
you
not one of
talking
the
about?
people. I said, hey, Shelly, I would love Alandria and Nick.
And who
I
else,
didn't say nothing
Tamika?
about no
And who
Taylor and
else?
Clark.
Who else? They're not making a show with just 4 people. Who else, Tamika?
I said they could add them to the season 2 of Love Island Beyond the Villa.
Oh, add them to the people who are already on there.
Yes.
Okay, okay. Okay, well that would be something. Yeah. Hopefully the girlies can hook up and form a friendship with Janae and Serena. And then
Yes.
they could do that. They could be friends of the show, pay them a little money and introduce them a little bit. Yeah,
Yes.
maybe so. Yeah.
Danita says I can see them also bringing Jeremiah too for Love Island Games, Hannah too, one of her men. Yeah, so like they have a good amount of people that they can pull from. I said I feel like they sabotaged this cast just to have a good cast for Love Island Games season 7 because last season a lot of those people kept saying no, so they basically were only going to be able to pull from Casa people. So yeah. It'll be very interesting. Danita says follow, like, and subscribe. And thank you, Danita. Yeah, so if you have not, please follow, like, and subscribe. Natalie was here. Natalie said that she wanted a lesbian or gay season. I also would not hate that. But yes, follow, like, and subscribe. And if you haven't, you can follow me on all social media platforms at Entertainment in Color, Entertainment in Cold Media on Twitter and Facebook. And I'm on Blue Sky and all that stuff. And Miss T Joy, they can find you where?
Instagram and on Threads and on Blue Sky and on YouTube at Miss T Joy
Nice.
and on TikTok at Miss T Joy too.
Yep. So yeah, so thank you for joining us, and hopefully we will see you next
Tomorrow.
tomorrow. Bye.